Whoa! It's a boogity ball! I get to do now. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back, folks. Thank you for coming back again. We're going to talk today about a single fret buzz, one single fret buzzing on your guitar. Now I received a guitar. A guy sent me a guitar. I received it today. It's an old Gibson Melody Maker. It started off, he had one fret buzzing under one string. Okay. He took a crown file and tried to file the next fret because he thought the next one was too high. He started filing it, and then he got it buzzing. So he filed a little bit on the next fret, and it started buzzing under the first and second strings. So by the time he did what he thought he was doing, fixing the guitar, and sent it to me, it had fret buzz. Wow, from the 5th fret clear down to the 10th fret. First, second, third, and fourth strings. They were all buzzing, man. I said, did you adjust your truss rod, you put back bow in the neck? Because that was where it was buzzing, right in the middle of the neck. And he said no. He said he was afraid to touch anything with the truss rod. He didn't do anything there. But, wow, he screwed his frets up big time. Now, it's going to cost him. I got a level. Well, I got to check the guitar first and see if it's got enough fret left to level and re-radius and crown them and dress them and all that stuff. And it's expensive. I used to do that pretty cheap. I don't do it pretty cheap anymore. It's a hard job. It's a time-consuming job, and a lot of guitars come in here that need that done, And I did it kind of cheap for a while, but it's up. It eats a $300 bill. I'll just say that, and more. If I have to do all that and polish them down to a mirror image. I think there's enough fret left on that guitar for me to do that. But like I say, I haven't really looked at it that close yet. I tried to play it, and it's unplayable. I mean, poor guy, he just ruined his frets, man, on that nice fine guitar. And that's the thing. You got to be really careful when you attack these things with files, man. He had bought those Stumac files like I have, and that's what he used on them. And I mean, they'll take a fret down. Just, oh wow. They cut in both directions. They're diamond grit. You guys see me use them 100 million times. So they cut in both directions, and I guess he just went to town on them, And like I say, this first, second, third, and fourth strings were all buzzing from the 5th fret to the 10th fret. You couldn't play chords, you couldn't solo or anything on it, and they were really rough. And I've been reading over on Facebook, and they're talking that again, man. I'm gonna have to quit going over there. Let's say your high E string at the 5th fret right here is buzzing. 9 people out of 10 will work on that, the 5th fret. See what I mean? They hit the 5th fret with the high E string and it buzzes. They think it's that fret that needs work on. Now, sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Let's take that same string on the same fret, first string on the 5th fret, it's buzzing. That's the only one that buzzes, okay? Here are the things you need to check for. You need to check first if that 5th fret has got a divot worn in it. The finer you set your guitar up, and I set them up fine, especially electric guitars, and the finer it's set up, if you get the slightest, tiniest little bit of divot in your fret, it's going to start to buzz a little bit. That's why I say if the finer you set your guitar up, the more you're going to catch yourself working on it, the more frequent. But say that first string is buzzing on the 5th fret right there, okay? You want to check and see if there's a divot there where the string meets the fret. You also want to check that fret, the 5th fret, make sure it's not popped up. It could be popped up, and when you note it, you're shoving it down below the rest of them, especially if they've been leveled and fixed with the fret popped up. That all should be checked before you ever level and crown and dress and do all that to your frets. You have to make sure they're all down flat and tight. Okay, let's say it doesn't have a divot in it, and say that fret, the 5th one, is not popped up. It's seated good down in the thing. Well, the next thing you want to look at is the very next fret, the 6th one. It could be popped up. Probably is. If it's buzzing and you checked all that stuff already and didn't find any problem, the next fret, the 6th one, probably, I'd just almost bet you money that it's popped up. If you can't tamp it back down, then you can clamp it down or hold it down and glue it. CA glue works wonderful for that. Hold it down, press it in and keep it pressed in. Drop a drop of CA glue down in the side up here and let that set and you're fixed. That should always be done before you level the frets and re-radius them or do anything like it. Before you ever do any fret work, when you have fret buzz, make absolutely sure the frets are seated. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. I could not think of that, but that's seated. All of them seated, man. Every one seated down tight against the fretboard. Then start your leveling and re-radiusing and crowning and polishing and all that jazz. Let's say the 3rd string on the 12th fret buzzed. Well, no, let's come up here. Say the 3rd string on the 3rd fret. 3rd string, 3rd fret buzzing. Well, that's in the middle of the fret. It's less chances of it being popped up, but it can. I've seen it happen before. But there's a lesser chance of it being in the middle as it is, to one either end of the fret being popped up. There's less chance of it being popped up middle. But like I say, I've seen it happen before. It does happen, and it can happen to you. So, 3rd string on the 3rd fret is buzzing. What do we do? Well, we look at that fret first. That don't mean grab a file and start filing on that bad boy. Don't do that, man. Don't grab a file and just start filing on the 3rd fret because it's buzzing. There's a bigger chance you're going to have to work on the 4th fret because it could either be popped up or your 3rd fret could have a divot in it. The closer up to the nuts you are, the closer the action is. You know what I mean? And as you come down the neck, all the way down to the fretboard extension, if it's an acoustic, or the end of the neck, if it's an electric guitar, the action gets higher as it comes down. You should have, my electric guitars, I like 10 thousandths neck relief set in them. That ain't very much. And 12 thousandths in my acoustic guitars. And then that gives the strings room to vibrate, and you can set your action up a little bit higher than you might, normally set it. Normal for me is very low. You guys watch, I like, on electric guitar, I like to have, 2 to 3/64 on the high E at the 12th fret, and 4/64 on the low E at the 12th fret. Electric guitars, that's just what I like, If somebody sends me a guitar, and they tell me to set it up like I would mine, that's the way I set it, with 10 thousandths neck relief we're talking. 16 thousandths nut action on every string, and it's not going to buzz, man. That's what this guitar is set at. I'm hitting it pretty hard, and it's not buzzing. That's way harder than I play electric guitar. I'm trying to develop myself just a very light touch, even on the acoustic too. All the years I had to hammer so hard to be heard has contributed to my ruining hands, I think. I don't know this, but with vocal discerning and that, I think, that's just what's ruined me. I don't know if I'll ever be able to play again or not, but I'm working on it. Anyways, yeah, back to the fret thing. Keep that in mind, remember that. Whatever fret is buzzing, there's a very good chance that fret don't need work done. Of course, if it's got divots worn in it, then you might have a problem there if you have really low action like I was just telling you about. It don't take very much of a divot either to make that string buzz on the next fret past it. Assuming that fret is not popped up, if you're with me so far. This guitar, y'all remember it? I've been playing it quite a lot. The black paint wore off of it there. Anybody got a black pick guard that'll fit a Squire, 51 Squire Fender Telecaster? I'll buy it off of you, man, or swap you a white one. I'd have to strip the black paint off of this. This one held up pretty good, held up better than I figured it would, really. But it's had the guts played out of it a lot, man. And I guess my hands and fingers hit that there a little bit. Anyways, just remember that. Keep it in mind. Whatever fret is buzzing, check the one after it. Higher than it. The next one higher than it. Before you do any work or firework like this dude did. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that guitar or not. Like I say, I think it's a 64. I think that's what he said. And it's cherry, man. I mean, it's... Wow. Somebody's probably refinished that guitar. I don't see how it could have lasted that long. and he plays all the time, so I know he takes it out a lot. But it looks almost like new. I mean, just almost like a brand new guitar. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying, man. Wow. Pick guard. Yeah, if anybody's got a black pick guard for a 51 Squire, I'll buy it off of you. Let me know. I've looked around. I know I'm not going to pay no 25 bucks for it, man. Not a piece of plastic. That's what they are online. I can find them on there. Every one the cheapest one I found was like 25 bucks. I thought, man, that's just stupid, ridiculous, you know? Wow. I'd gladly swap this one, strip the paint off of it, or leave it black, and swap it for one that is black. Pitch black, dark black, as dark as you can get it. I play this guitar quite a lot, and I know if I paint it again, it's just going to wear off over time, you know, so that's no good. Yeah, well, it's alright. I mean, I really don't care what it looks like, but I would rather it look better, you know, and not wear off there. Let me show it to you one more time. I know we're getting completely off subject. There, see what I'm talking about, that white spot? The rest of it held up really nice, man. You can see where my fingers rub it. It's a good guitar. It's one of my favorites that I own. But if I can show you the SG, I will show it to you. I have to ask him about that. I don't think he wants me to show it from the way he talked, but I'll ask him to make sure. And I know I'm going to be leveling the frets. I don't know how much he filed off. Might have to pull the frets and refret it, and then do all that work to it. It's going to cost way more than what I told you, if that's the case. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And I don't know what will be up next. Whatever it is, probably be good. Well, won't be too good. Yeah, it'll probably be alright. Maybe you can stick it out. Hopefully you'll be able to stick it out. I don't know, man. But probably be one of my Martin guitars, speaking of frets, has been leveled and dressed and crowned so many times the frets are getting thin on it. You know, when the fret height gets down to about the tang width, you need to pull them out, you know. And I'm talking about that Martin Tominsky model guitar from the custom shop. I've leveled the frets on that thing a lot of times, man, because I played it all of the time, you know, since I got it. And wore the frets out, level, dress them, crown them, polish them, wore them out. I don't know, probably 3 or 4 times. And they are getting thin. The ones up toward the nut are getting very thin. They're probably thinner than the tang width of the tang is. But that's a very expensive guitar. And I'm going to have to rip the frets out of it. So stay tuned for that. It's coming. I need to get it done, because I want to play that guitar. And it's all buzzy and crap right now. And so I want to get it done, you know, as soon as I can. Stack over there to the ceiling, man. Like I'm going to get anything of mine fixed. Cheers. I'm Rambling. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribe, man. If you're not subscribed, 90% of people watch my videos are not subscribed. Please do subscribe if you're watching this, and I'll be mighty grateful to you. Cheers. See you on the next one.